I just like, hi, how are you doing? Thank you
Hi,
so much for
Carla.
joining me. And
Sure.
yeah, today's topic is very, very um, interesting because we are going to be talking about the most common questions for first-time home buyers. So please, if you have any question and you will like us to answer it live, feel free to jump in, and we will love to make sure that you have the answer based on your particular scenario. So please, Elisa,
Yes. So
you
I'm
have
going to be
prepared
shooting
some
questions. I'm
questions.
going to be
Yes.
shooting questions, Carla, for you and then for myself, so we can answer differently.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see how many questions we can answer in the span of maybe 20-25 minutes. So I
Okay.
have one here, the first one. Okay, I will answer this one. How much do first time home buyers have to put as a down payment here in Ontario? As you know, I work here in the GTA. I sell homes here in Toronto, so that's where my expertise are. So if your home costs $500,000 or less, you'll need 5% minimum down payment. Okay, the minimum. If your home costs more than $500,000, you'll need a minimum of the 5 down payment for the first 500K, and then 10% on the remainder. If your home costs 1 million or more, then yes, definitely you need a 20% down payment. And I found this question very important, Carla, because many first-time home buyers ask me or tell me, should I say, that they have not put 20% down payment together yet, that they in the 14 or 15%, and they need more months to put that money together. Well, it's not needed. Of course, it will depend on the value of the home. Especially in Toronto, you will not find a house for less than 500,000. So probably you will need something closer to the 10%, but it's completely doable. And then talking about the first-time homebuyer specifically, please, Carl, explain to us what exactly is a down payment.
Okay. So the down payment, it actually, like, depending on the type of profile the client has, like, meaning depending on how much income we have, it also, like, we have to do the all the calculations to make sure that the client is able to afford the home. It's not like, oh, I am a first time home buyer, I want to buy a $700,000 home, and this is how much I need. No, that it also, we have to take into consideration how much you earn a year. Okay.
But what is
So
exactly this amount of money, Carla? Where does it go? What is it?
where does it go, the down payment?
Yeah, because some people are not sure where exactly this down payment, this typical
You mean
5% I request
the
with the offer.
deposit?
No, the down payment. The down payment
Oh,
normally.
okay, so it
Yeah.
goes into the equity of your home, is what you mean?
Yes, I wanted you to confirm
Okay.
that because sometimes when I mention it, yes, it goes right there, right,
Oh, yeah.
Carla? So when
Yes.
Elisa, that mean me, when I ask you 5% as a deposit, which in this case, this deposit is the same as the down payment. Even though you're gonna put it in with the offer, where does it go? You just mentioned it, right? Exactly. It goes to the equity of your home.
To the
So
equity of the home. Sorry, yeah, 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 yeah.
right, so yeah, and that is the question. What is a down payment? It's part of your capital. Is the money you have been saving to put down for your home. It's not a
Okay.
payment. It's not a payment to any agency, right?
Yeah, no, 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 no. It goes directly into the
Yeah.
equity of your home. So let's say, for instance, if the client is buying a 600,000 and it's putting $30,000, then it goes directly into your equity for sure.
Yeah, and then you just have to give the rest to the lawyer, the 570,000, because you already put the 30,000. That's how
Those are
we understand it.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah. So next question for you. When
Okay.
shopping for the best mortgage rate, is better my bank or a mortgage broker? Where should I go?
Okay, so going directly with the bank, you are only going for one option. So the banks only will offer their products, their rates, and going with a mortgage broker will open up options for you. Why? Because we have over 50 lenders available to us in order for you to get one could be the best rate or two could be the best approval. Why do I say this? So different lenders have different guidelines, and because it's impossible for you to know all these guidelines that all these different lenders have, you don't really know where to go. So instead of going checking your credit with one and going with another one and checking your credit again and again and again and again and again and again, then what you are doing is, one, wasting your time, two, damaging your credit because you are constantly checking that, and three, just uh, literally going around and don't, like, sometimes not getting anywhere because sometimes, even though you go with so many, it could be that, none of those are gonna actually approve you because the type of mortgage or the type of product you need is not available to them. So that's why going with a mortgage broker can open up a lot of doors, not only for better rates, it also is also for better guidelines. I was
Excellent.
explaining to Elisa that one day one of my clients came. They actually declined their approval twice in a bank. We tried for a third bank, and they told me no to me as well. But the structure of the application was really good. It was just this that they have a little bit of an issue with the credit because the credit wasn't long enough for them to be able to approve it. But the fourth bank, they remember they had two banks. I have two banks, and the fourth one actually said yes. So the client couldn't actually know if they were gonna say, like, they were this bank will have say yes unless she has come to us to make sure that we explore all the options. So we did explore all the options, and it turns out they are homeowners now. So give us a try because really it could make a difference in your application.
Yes, definitely, Carla. Thank you for sharing that. And why you don't share with our audience also your Calendly so they can reach out to you, so they can go into a personalized review with you what has to be done. And while Carla is doing that, also I would address another question. Some of my first-time home buyers have been saving really their hard-earned money, and they also have been saving some RSPs in their accounts. So this is one of the benefits that we have in Ontario. You can actually use your RSPs to purchase your first home here in Ontario. So absolutely. However, you must be a first-time home buyer again. We're talking this program is for her first-time home buyers. Yes, you must be a first-time home buyers. And the RSP home buyers plan lets you borrow now up to $60,000 from your RSP, which is the Registered Retirement Savings Plan. I have some first-time home buyers, they have no idea, no clue that actually their employer is subtracting this amount from their paycheck. So call your employer, call your HR, and ask them exactly what does that mean, and that they should itemize all the deductions they are doing. One of those is going straight into your RSP, is your own money, and you have the right to it. And this limit was raised actually from $35,000. Up to April 10th, 2024, it was $35,000 per person. Now it's 60,000. And if you are a couple or you are buying two people your first home, you can withdraw right now up to $120,000 from these accounts. Now, you need to be aware that you need to pay this amount back over the span of 15 years, the next 15 years, and the debt has to be paid back. But note, when you're extracting this money from your RSP, you're not paying any interest because it's your own money. However, if you fail to pay back in this time frame your money, you will be charged income tax on the unpaid amount. So your RSP deposit should already have been tax deferred. Okay. So next question. Carla, I think this is a really hard one because it's all over the place. How
Okay.
important is my credit score when I'm purchasing my first
It's
home?
very, very, very important. It's a make it or break it type of a deal. What I was mentioning to Elisa is that for us, like we can get you a mortgage with a very good rate if you have a beacon score as low as 600. However, what I usually suggest is for you to have above the 700 um, beacon score. Why? Because I don't know how many times I have to check your credit. And trust me, I am the first one who actually says, do not check your credit unless you really need to. And when we are in the process of, especially in the purchase process, we don't know how many times we're going to be checking the credit. And why? Is because when you put an offer, maybe we check your credit, but then what happens if the deal doesn't go through and then you find a home but it's like 2 months after? The the lenders are not gonna allow us to use the same credit because it's too old. They want it to be at least 1 month old. So we have to check your credit again. So because of that, I want to make sure that when you actually get the home and we know 100% that that's gonna be that one, then your credit is actually in a very good place for the lender to approve you. If it goes below certain score, some banks don't even approve you. Not even
So
if you have
let's say
yeah.
Elisa, I think my credit score is only 600 points. What should I do?
I will say we work towards getting it a little bit in the higher,
But I'm ready to
and
buy my home now. Is there any lender that would entertain me? It's
it
very
could
low.
yes, it's very low. It's very low. What I will suggest is definitely for you to one, if we have a month old score, we could entertain it. However, like maybe it will be best for you to put the financing condition, for
No, no,
example.
no. For example, about the banks, do I have any more option? Are there other kind of lenders?
Oh yes, 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 yes. Depending on
Okay.
the type of it all depends on the profile, and it all depends on the type of transaction.
Yeah, because
um
where we going, this is what we're really geared towards people who have a really low credit score.
oh, when you
Yeah,
have
yeah. So
very very like
like
lower than
600.
600.
Yeah, 600. So yeah, the lender Bs which are available, which not are the banks that you normally
Yes,
deal with. We normally
yes,
typically will give you they are considered A type lenders, and so they
yeah,
are interested that you have a higher score. Why? And the interested are lower. Why? Because it's a risk. It's a risk they put into it. So when they are reading that your score is much lower than that, that the risk is higher. But there's another kind of lenders which are called lender B that are gonna put more risk with you because you are not very stable in the reading in your history on the credit reporting. but you still can get a home. And believe it or not, even people who have gone through bankruptcy can get a home. There are all kind of lenders. How many lenders you work with? Because there's not only five, the big banks out there, guys. There's
Yeah,
much
no,
more. How many
50,
lenders do you work with, Carla?
50,
You
over
see?
50,
And
over
many people
50.
have no idea they can be applying or searching for so many other with so many other lenders that have so many different profiles to accommodate, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, and that's where my question is was going, because I want them to know that you can actually, when they explain you very well their profile, you can really find what they're looking for if they are ready
a
really with the
hundred
funds,
percent.
right?
I tell you one story about one client. They came to me and they wanted to buy a townhouse. They really wanted to buy a townhouse, but they weren't able to have that specific townhouse because they didn't have enough funds for the closing, and they also had a credit card that we needed to pay.
Mm-hmm.
And here I said it out loud. Banks usually don't have the cashback option, like for example, lenders A that can give you up to 5% of the cashback of the value of the mortgage, which is quite significant sometimes. And
Mm-hmm.
thanks to that product, the client, instead of getting the condo that they didn't want in the first place, they were able to purchase the 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 um, the the townhouse that they really wanted to buy. And it turns out, it was a perfect product for them, because they were able to consolidate all their loans, and they were able to also come up with the closing cost. So in that way, it was a happy ending for them. But going to a bank, they would have not found something like that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so Um, again, you're backing up with the other question we had, if they should go directly to the bank or to a mortgage broker. Definitely, because the plethora is
Sorry,
there. All the
one
banks are
one
there,
is like
right? No, but yeah, all the banks are there, because yeah, as we know, if you have only one product to offer, you will not be offering the products of the bank next door, right? You only will be offering yours. So
yeah, and I
that's
can
a huge
also work with the
advantage.
bank as well. Like if you really want to work with a bank, and that's like a personal decision that you say, I really would like. We also have banks, so definitely is in our eh,
In your portfolio, right?
in
Yeah.
our portfolio. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Another question, let me see here. Can I
Perfect.
qualify for a land transfer tax rebate in Ontario? Absolutely. If you're a first-time home buyer, you will get your land transfer tax rebate. So to qualify, you must understand, as a first-time home buyer, you must be, of course, an adult, you 18 years or older, because believe it or not, there are very, very few applications that go from, like international students that are younger, but that's a totally different story. And then also you must be either a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident of Canada. You have to occupy the home as your primary residence within the first 9 months of the date of the transfer. As soon as the lawyer gives you the deed, cannot pass more than 9 months that you occupy that home as your primary residence. Okay. And you can't have ever previously owned a home, either part or in full, anywhere in the world to get this land transfer tax rebate. And if you are married to your spouse cannot have either previously owned a home, either in part or in full, anywhere in the world. Now, in Toronto, this land transfer tax rebate is of $4,475, and in provincially is $4,000. So you live in Toronto, you get both rebates. And if you live outside of Toronto, you only get one rebate, which is okay because of the taxation outside Toronto are lower. So that evens up. Anyways. So now, next question is, tell me, Carla, how long does it take for me to get a mortgage pre-approval? If I'm ready to search homes, I have already my tour, I have my appointment. How long does it take for you to get me my pre-approval?
Typically, it takes, I will say, 24 hours for us to make sure that everything is good, and why not? But I will say that you need to make sure that you are sending all the information and all the documents that we require. Why? Because when we are in the process of the pre-approval, and you are putting offers, what I strongly suggest is to treat it almost as if you were actually getting the mortgage in that precise moment. We want to make sure that we are able to use all your income, and we're able to use all your down payment, and you have the actual credit score that we require. Now, why am I saying this? Because sometimes my clients come and tell me, "Hey, Carla, but I have this app from my bank that is telling me that my score is awesome, my credit score." And I can tell you right now that banks actually use TransUnion, but when they want to actually check something for credit, they use Equifax. And we want to make sure that we are actually checking Equifax at that point to make sure that everything is good. So now you have that other tip that we actually need the Equifax, and we need to make sure that what you're putting as an income is the actual income that we can use. Sometimes, especially for people that have bonuses, sometimes they put their last T4 income, but guess what? The lenders actually use the last two, the average of the last two T4s. So that can actually increase your income or it can decrease your income. So there are little things that you guys won't be able to know in order for us to give you an accurate approval. So make sure that you send all the information. That's my my best recommendation here.
Thank you so much, Carla. That was very important information. And the next question goes in hand with that I received. Actually, more than questions, comments about it. Hey, Elisa, I'm ready to look for our homes. I will get our pre-approval along the way. Okay, well, let me tell you this. You want to be taken seriously by any seller, and a pre-approval helps you to get real about what you can afford. Pre-approvals are actually accurate assessment of your initial or your financial status that show you are ready to buy. Exactly that you are ready to buy and that you can afford the property when you submit an offer. So having this information before you start looking will help you avoid the inevitable disappointment of failing or falling of the place that you cannot afford. And well, it manages your expectations, right? It manages your expectations because and sets you up to find the right home for you. So you're never looking for properties that are beyond your affordability, and then you can narrow actually of the 50 homes that you can go crazy looking out there. Okay, I can actually entertain these 10 homes, and you know what? Many sellers will request a proof that you can afford to buy their home. And a pre-approval is a wonderful way to actually show them that you are serious about the process. Exactly. And I'm sure, Carla, how many times did they tell you, like, I need a letter of pre-approval from you right now because I need to submit it with the offer, right?
Yeah, and there comes another thing, like if we don't know how many how many offers you're gonna make and why not. And what I do, I personalized those pre-approval letters specifically to the actual property that you are putting the offer, and that makes it a little bit more like, oh, they work as a team. They actually did this due diligence specifically to my property, so they feel a little bit more, like, oh, okay, now I know that it's not just a random approval, it's an actual approval based on this specific home. Now, I just want to have this parenthesis when we do a pre-approval, and clarify that a pre-approval is not an approval. Okay. And the reason why I want to make sure that you know this is because um, when we are looking at your financial situation is one thing, but in an approval, they want to see that, you're paying a fair market price for the property that you are buying. That's one. And second, and very important, that the actual property is good and it doesn't have any major damages, such as like mold or water damage or structural damage. All that is seriously taken into consideration by lenders, because if in the case that the client doesn't pay, they are able to sell it as fast as possible. And those houses that are that need a significant repair, sometimes they tend to stay away from. So just to keep in mind that when you are in this process, and make sure that you keep this in mind and do your research of how much you are going to put the offer for.
Yes, yes, exactly. Well, the time has run. Imagine that it's 4:12. So yeah, it has been a lot of information for our audience. So if you find this information useful, go to our YouTube channels, subscribe, and share the link to anyone who you think this information may be useful. So yeah, and we'll see you next Tuesday. We have not finished the list of questions we have here, so we'll continue with more for the next session. So tune in for next Tuesday, same time, with Carla and myself. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Elisa. Thank you. Bye.